Hey everyone, back again with another tea video. Today I'm bringing you the W2T subscription box from, what is it, April 2025, yeah. Um, this one got here a bit late into the month. I just barely got it like 2 days ago. So yeah, but this will probably be my last one for a while just because of the tariffs make me a little unsure, so I canceled the subscription because I don't want a random 100 and something% extra charge on top of it. Then it would just be very much not worth it every month. It would go from, the somewhat reasonable 30 to, likely being closer to like 80 or 90. So yeah, this will be my last one for a while. But this one's a pretty cool sounding one. I'm going to read all this note off to you. If you're not interested, feel free to skip ahead to whatever part. I'll be showing off all the teas in this one, and then I'll be probably sampling either the green tea or the smoked tea in this one. I'm not too sure yet. I'll decide in a moment. Greetings from Tea Mountains in Menghai. We have been driving around the switchbacks of Shuang. I don't know how to say that. I'm not going to try. And beyond. Tracking down raw pour teas from our upcoming spring productions. So far, has been a promising year. A bit of early rain has balanced out the production compared to the droughts of the last few years. The buds are springing forth, and we're back hard to blend up some heavy hitters. In the meantime, enjoy the April Tea Club. We decided to mix it up with this year. Instead of going full green, we added a black and a pine smoked pour for good measure. Alright, so the first one, Cloud Mist Green Tea, our favorite Sichuan green tea in the value category. Cloud Mist, literally taken from the Chinese name Yun Wu, is a bud-heavy but not bud-exclusive picking of green tea. As you may know, buds are a big indicator of price in the Chinese green tea market. The more buds, the more labor and effort to produce the same weight of tea compared with a production that has very few buds. The picking is from a mountain we visited on our long drive down the Yunnan, and despite the high altitude, the picking was done before Qingming Festival. If you've heard the term thrown around in the tea world, pre-Qingming is simply a signifier of being early in the season. Early season green teas are always the most prized, though to be honest, with all the climate turmoil, it's become an arbitrary measure as weather can vary quite a lot from year to year. There are still a lot of good green teas. Pick the day of Qingming or day after. As with all teas, the proof is in your cup with tea and the tea talks. This tea will boast a beautiful freshness and fragrance of springtime that will lift up your morning and carry you into the new season. Next one is Red Jin Mudan. This black tea from Fujian province was made exclusively with the Jin Mudan varietal, which literally translates as golden peony. As you might expect from a tea named with the floral lineage, you will catch sweet flowery aromatics off the top of this tea, with a figgy sweetness underneath. If the fresh green tea has you spinning, this is a nice one for the afternoon. You could always let it ride with a little cream. We didn't try that, but it sounds good. Maybe it's a lack of heavy cream in Menghai talking. And then this next one, Northern Grown. I've always been, I've only tried 2 so far of smoked teas, but I struggle with them a little bit. The smoke's a little strong for me, so I don't know if I'm going to try it right away or I'm just going to straight up wait, because I know I probably won't be into it. So we got 2 7-gram minis. We took a blend of raw pour and sent it to Tongmuguan village in Fujian to be pine smoked like a lapsang. This blend has a fruity sweetness that plays around in the campfire. Think ham and charred pineapple or something. These teas are always a little divisive since smoke is intense, but people who love them fall deeply in love. Also, worth noting that this is very fresh, so if you don't like it on the first shot, then we recommend you stash away the second mini to try again in a year or 3. The smoke will calm down and integrate with the tea ages. If you like this, try Pyrolad or Firebat, or any of our growing pine smoke catalog. Yeah, I noticed on the W2T website recently, actually, they have a ton of smoked teas popping up. Last time I looked, I think there was like 5. So if you're interested, they do have quite a few smoked teas that have popped up recently, I think, from this year. And then I think that was the end, though. And then at the bottom, there's some boiling instruction or brewing instructions, and then we'll be pressing an exclusive 50-gram cake of it's cut off a little there. Old Arbor Raw Pu'er Tea for May Club. Keep an eye on social media, and we will share pictures of the process as well as the rest of our spring tea adventures. So that sounds nice. Old Arbor. I recently bought a few Old Arbor cakes from Yunnan Sourcing, so that'll be pretty nice for those of you who are still in the tea club. But yeah, let's take a look at these teas that we just took forever to read about. Sorry, my reading skill in my head is a lot faster than reading out loud. But these green teas leaves look really fresh, really nice. They got like a bit of white fuzz on them. Let's give it a little smell. It's very nice, nutty. You know, that edamame, like the soybean-like scent. Very nice. That'll continue our 2025. I've been on a fresh green tea kick lately. Let's smell this red gin mudan. That's pretty interesting. That smells interesting. There's almost like a spice to it. Huh. Yeah, I don't know what to make of that. It's almost, the smell of it reminds me of like, yeah, black tea, yeah, a little floral, but also kind of like I don't know if you've ever had Mexican candy, but almost like a spicy Mexican candy, like what do you call it, like Lucas or something? Or like, you know, those candies that have like tahini in them? It kind of reminds me of that. And then we got this, the smoked one. Definitely smells smoked. Not as smoky. It's still in the paper, but it doesn't smell as smoky as that stuff from the steeping room I had a bit back. That was crazy smoky. Very off-putting to me, frankly. But I know a lot of people out there just who also like, you know, like a good smoked scotch, smoked alcohol, would probably be pretty into this too. I can say based off the smell straight off the bat, just in the bag and the paper, it smells a little smoky, definitely a little campfirey, but nothing too crazy. Yeah. I'll let those sit though. I don't want to just drink it knowing I won't like it. They said it'll calm down. So, I mean, I do want to try one for the video, so maybe I'll give it another few days, another week. I don't know. But I think today I'm going to try this green tea. I think that'll be the move. It's still pretty early in the morning. Alright, here is the, what's it called? Cloud Mist green tea from W2T. We're going to start with a wash, 85C. We'll go, I don't know, maybe 5 seconds. Basically, as fast as I can go. Something I will say that it's kind of annoying about this is the packaging it came in. It's just like a big rip off the side, not resealable or anything. I put it in like a little sandwich baggie, like it's a bag of wheat or something, but not a huge deal, but just kind of annoying. That one-use packaging for not a single serving of tea. Because that was the same stuff they used for the single servings, which I'm fine with, right? I don't need to reseal it, but this is probably like 5 or 6 servings. Looks pretty good. Alright. First steep. We'll go about 10 to 15 seconds. Let's get a, well, let me dump out the wash first. Slight color difference there. It doesn't, I feel like it doesn't really, the camera doesn't do it justice as far as color. I feel like it looks quite a bit more green in person. On camera, it appears to be kind of more of a tan color. I don't know. But let's do a smell profile on these wet leaves. On the dry leaves, it was pretty a traditional green tea, right? It kind of smelled nutty, smelled fresh. Maybe a little floral in there, not too much. I'd say overarchingly, it was just like that soybean, like edamame scent. And still like that. Now it smells more like toasted soybeans, I'd say. So not too different. But tea overall looks good. You know, there's some floaty bits in it. The fresh green leaves, I assume, break off. It's not a huge deal. It's not foggy or muddy, I think, is the main thing to note. All right, let's try that first steep. It's good. Very light body, no bitterness. Not really any sweetness. It's pretty savory. Just as nutty tasting as the smell is. Which isn't bad. That's really all I get out of it, though, is that like roasted soybean flavor. Let's try a second steep real quick. All right, here is that second steep. I'm trying to keep the lid closed so I don't get too many pieces in. A little bit of cloudiness forming in the liquid. Still doesn't look muddy. Muddiness usually being caused by like just tiny fragments of leaves. But I noticed cloudiness tends to be a common thing with green tea, so I don't think it's necessarily a sign of a bad tea. I think I've said in the past, I think my assumption is chlorophyll. I don't really know what causes it, but it doesn't look bad. All right, we're going to try that second steep. It's good. This is a very savory tea. Very nutty as well. Really the only flavor profiles I get from it. Which I guess is pretty traditional for a lot of Chinese green tea, is that soybean taste. Not bad though. Definitely refreshing and like bright, and I definitely feel already like the caffeine kicking on. Yeah, it's like a clear-headed but bright feel. But I'm enjoying it for sure. I'm definitely enjoying trying all these green teas, you know, trying something new. I'd suggest you do the same. But I believe that's where I'm going to leave it for this tea. I might record all the other teas and just put them all into one video. This will end up being like a 30-minute long video, but this being my last box I'm going to do, at least subscription box from W2T, I think putting them into one video might be just a change of pace. Try something new. But thanks for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe for more tea content. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. See ya. Alright everyone, continuing with this April W2T subscription pack, we are going to Northern Grown. This is a smoked raw pour. It is pine smoked. To my knowledge, it's not available in their catalog. It's only in this. I know, yeah, right here they have it printed. They suggest Pyrolad and Firebat, so I'll link those below this video along with any other equivalent suggestions they have. But normally I'm not too into smoked tea, so take my word with a grain of salt on how I like it. It's probably a good quality. Smoked tea just isn't really my thing. This April pack came with 2 of these. Here is the wrapping, just so you can see it. There's also a little QR code on there. I'm not sure what it links to, but there you go. What is that, like a bear drinking out of a stream, I think? I'm not really sure what that picture is. Kind of hard to see. But here's the tea. They said they pine smoked it, so think it'll taste like ham and charred pineapple. Sounds pretty interesting. And they smoked it, they said, like a lapsang. So we will give this a shot. I'll be doing a quick wash of this. My teaware has all the water in it, preheating. But I'll do a quick wash of this, probably about 5 seconds at 100°C, and then we'll lower that temp to maybe around 95°C for that first steep. Alright, there's the hot water in for the wash. Seems to be opening up pretty quick. Change of plans. We'll probably, since it is a Dragon Ball, I always forget you should do those a little longer. We'll probably do about 20 seconds for that first wash. Alright, here is that wash. I mentioned in the beginning of the video, but dry scent on this, once I opened it, was a little more, you could smell it a little better. Definitely not as smoky as the previous smoked lapsang I had, which was very overwhelming to me. This one I got some more floral and just tea scent overall in it, whereas that smoked lapsang, all I got was like campfire basically. It smelled like charcoal, burnt wood. This I do get a little something else besides just smoke, so I appreciate that, because that was very off-putting to me. I know some of y'all out there really enjoy your smoke. Definitely not really my thing. I will admit, never caught on for it. I know my dad's big into his smoked scotches, and I do, like some smoked meat here and there, but I don't know, smoked beverages are not my thing. Not sure why. Just not in my palate. Alright, we'll get that first steep started. 95°C. We'll do 20 seconds again. Well, that opened up pretty quick, at least. Wasn't too densely packed, I don't think. Some of these Dragon Balls are super densely packed and take like 3 steeps to actually open up. Let's give a wet smell real quick. It smells pretty nice. It's not super overwhelmingly smoky like that previous one I've had. The smoke is definitely present. Definitely filling the room right now, but I'm also getting the smell of the tea in there, and a little bit of the raw pour vibe, that vegetal, a little bit floral, a little bit of astringent, maybe a little sweetness in there. I think it's balancing out pretty well. Yeah, I don't know. I've still been super off-put by that other smoked lapsang I have. Like, it didn't look like low quality or anything. It was just so overwhelming. There was absolutely no tea flavor in it until I was like about done with the steeps and the tea started coming out, but it was kind of, all the flavor was already basically used up at that point. This tea's looking good though. Very nice color, very deep. I don't know, like an amber, like a tan amber. Very clear, not muddy, not cloudy, very few specks. The leaves look pretty nice and whole as well. for the most part. Alright, let's give this a try. You know what? That's actually quite nice. The smoke is definitely very present, very forward, but it's not necessarily overwhelming the tea flavor. I feel like they're kind of working in tandem in this. The smoke is definitely, for this first steep, a little more present than the tea flavor, but I still get that tea taste. It's really nice. Yeah, so smoky, earthy, maybe a little floral, maybe a little fruity. Definitely a little bit of astringency in there, a little bit of mouth drying. Let's do a second steep. I think this tea will definitely evolve. I feel that smokiness will probably wear off a little as you go, but still be present. And it'll probably create a pretty interesting drinking experience as you go on in your steeps. Alright, here is that second steep, 95C still. Just for color comparison, I think it's about the same. Still looks really nice. A few little particles floating in there, but no big deal. It's not muddy, it's not cloudy, it's relatively clear. And the leaves do look pretty nice as well. Alright, let's try this second steep real quick. Yeah, you know what? Well, I think it's growing on me. It's interesting. Pretty much all the types of tea I've tried so far that were out of the norm. At first, I didn't like them, but I kept trying different types or from different vendors, and eventually found versions I liked. So, if you're out there like me, you were saying, "Oh, I don't like show pour," or "I don't like smoked tea," or shit. Even some of the oolongs I've tried, like that Jesse's Tea House one. Like if that was the first oolong I tried, I would have just been like, or even first Iron Goddess I tried, I would have been like, I don't like Iron Goddess, or I don't like oolong. But yeah, keep trying others out there for sure. I didn't much care for show pour at first, but tried a few, and eventually I found some I liked, and then they all started to grow on me. And I think same with this. I very much like this, actually. That smoke, while present, isn't overwhelming. I still get that tea flavor. I still get some of the floral and, raw pour characteristics that I look for. So a little bit of a astringency, a little bit of vegetal, a little bit of floral, a little bit of a fruitiness going on there, a little bit of a sweet undertone. It is quite mouth drying, I will say. And then it's pretty moderate body as well. But very nice for sure. I look forward to see how this develops as I drink more. They also suggested if you're not a fan of smoky, you can just set these aside, let them age for a few years if you're very patient. So that's an option. But I'll link below for this whole box, everything they suggest that's equivalent. But yeah, thanks for watching. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe for more tea content. Alright, this will be the last tea in the W2T April box. This is the Red Jinmu. Black tea from Fujian province, made from the tea varietal of Golden Peony. To my knowledge, it should just be sweet and floral, and maybe figgy. I think that's all the descriptors we have for this one, but it looks pretty nice. Looks like a typical black tea, nothing crazy looking. Nothing wrong with that though. But here's the packaging for you. Got 50 grams of it, and we'll open it up, do a quick dry smell profile out of the bag. I always feel like that gives the best, most concentrated smell. So out of the bag, it is floral, but I get like a spice, which is really interesting, like a dark, deep spice note. Almost reminds me of I don't know, like Mexican spices. I'm from Arizona. We eat a lot of Mexican food here, so it kind of reminds me of that, like maybe like a Mexican candy almost. Because there's like a sweetness, a floral, and like some kind of spice. Really interesting smell for sure. I think black tea's been kind of growing on me. There's a lot of interesting ones with very different flavor profiles. But we'll get that brewing. We'll do a very, very quick wash. 95C. We'll just barely cover the leaves, 95C, and call it, I don't know, 5 seconds-ish. Like, that's enough time. And then this next steep will be probably also 95C, and we'll go about 15 seconds, I'd say. Maybe 20. Alright, we'll let that steep and we'll be right back. Alright, it should be about 20 seconds now. It got pretty dark pretty quick with that wash. But it looks really good. Really nice, deep, like a deep red. Deep amber, maybe. Real clear. Very few particulates. No muddiness. I always just like to mention the color and look first thing before we taste it. Alright, let's give a quick wet leaf smell profile. They smell very nice, very floral, very sweet, but still very much that classic black tea flavor, or red tea, as the Chinese call it. But let's give this a little taste now. It's very nice, quite full-bodied, almost a creaminess to it. It's really good. It's very easy to drink. Quite a sweetness to it. Very floral. I wouldn't say there's, yeah, maybe there is. There's like a bit of fruitiness to it as well. But definitely floral, like they mentioned. Yeah, I think all their tasting notes on the note being figgy, floral, are pretty accurate. It's like floral, a little bit fruity, a little bit sweet. I feel like I still do get a bit of that like spice character that I was getting in the smell, which is quite interesting. I wonder how long that'll stick around, but it's very nice. I very much enjoy this tea. I could very much see drinking it often. They do mention trying it with cream, so maybe I'll give that a try sometime. I don't usually drink coffee or tea with cream or sugar, but it might be interesting to mix it up, you know. Yeah, very much like this tea. I think out of the selection, surprisingly, I think so far I very much like that Northern Grown, the smoked tea. It's very interesting, and it wasn't too overwhelming with the smoke, but I think this will be my second favorite, the Red Gin Mudan, the black tea, which also surprising. I'm not normally a black tea person, just because, I don't know, bad experiences with Western black tea. Like, it's never that great. It's just something you can get that or water or soda when you go places. So I'm just like, I'll just get tea. And that Miss Green tea, I wasn't super impressed with it. It was all right. I've been trying a lot of really good, high quality green teas lately, so I think I've been a bit spoiled. It wasn't bad by any means. Very nutty, very savory. It just wasn't. I don't think that one particularly was my thing, but definitely not bad. But as always, I'll link what I can as far as like what they suggest to be equivalents, and I'll link this subscription pack below. As I said before, this will be my last one for a while, just because of the U.S. and Chinese tariff stuff going on, and I don't want to risk being charged an additional, over 100% for $30 worth of tea. So I'll be cutting that out for a bit, but you'll know as soon as I start it back up again. I do have other teas on the horizon. I placed quite a few orders before those tariffs were implemented, and I got a really large W2T order in the other day, as well as a couple other orders, and a bit of a back catalog of teas I just haven't had a chance to try yet. So hopefully those other orders will come in before those tariffs are. I guess they're already official. I'm not sure what's going on. None of this stuff was tariffed yet. Hopefully none of that is either, because I ordered all those a while ago, including something from Farmer Leaf. So we will see. But that's all for this video. Thanks for watching. This is probably going to be a long one. I think I'm going to put all these teas together in one video. So yeah, leave a like, subscribe for more tea content, leave a comment, let me know what you think about any of these. All right, see ya.